As the number of Nigerians living in the diaspora continues to increase, so does the number and rate of calls they make to relatives and friends living in Nigeria.
Hello, Uncle. Hello, Uncle. How do you do? I'm fine. Fine.
Violet Okoro has loved ones living in Europe and America. She says for a while now, she has noticed that calls coming from her family and friends outside Nigeria have been displaying local Nigerian numbers on her phone.
I always get surprised. I will say, are you calling from Nigeria? Are you in Nigeria? What am I the app? They will say, no, that is from international. I will say, wow, Nigerian number is showing on my phone.
Sir, I want to find out from you. You're just talking to your sister. Do you know that is a Nigerian number that is showing, a Glo number?
No, because I'm calling directly from my cell phone.
Directly from your cell phone?
Yes.
You are not using a call card?
No.
It appears this situation is not peculiar to Violet alone.
But I have family members outside the country, and I've noticed that whenever they call, it's either a Glo number or an Etisalat number that shows. And if even after I don't pick the call and they try me again, a different number is calling you. And then when you try to call back, it tells you, oh, this number doesn't exist. And having noticed that, I have to pick calls from unknown numbers. Yes, some of them might be scam, which has happened to me like quite a number of times, but I don't have a choice.
It's making us to be priests in the hand of 419. And oftentimes it causes problem between us and our friends, our families abroad, because they will have called several times and they will tell you that they've been calling, but you said that you have not seen the call, just because it's displaying Nigerian number. And so sometimes we have missed so many important calls, and that is not good enough.
Telecom experts say even though international call termination rates are gradually falling, they are still 10 times more expensive than domestic termination costs.
It's probably because of the high cost of international calls via the regular carrier, and also the tariffs levied by the government that instigates people to come up with such ideas to just make sure that they get the prices down.
They now use technology to illegally terminate international calls and defraud telecom companies of the proper call termination rates. Experts call it SIM box fraud. It is associated with call refiling and call masking.
They have a specialized box for doing that. It's connected to the internet. So instead of your call coming in via the telco, it comes over the internet. What they do also is to route the call through Nigerian SIM cards. Makes it look as if the call is actually a local call. That's another trick for them getting the cut from the international tariff.
Analysts say as much as 70% of international call traffic is terminated on illegal routes, costing the country billions of dollars.
NCC so far has been able to, they issued strong warning to some companies. They revoked some licenses for some companies. They were able to discover about 750,000 SIM cards that are being used for this.
The fraudsters continue to up their games. So basically, the institutionalized setups should also up their games and even go far higher. So just like you have virus in computer, and they produced antivirus.
While trying to get clarification on some of the issues raised by Nigerians during this report, we made numerous attempts to get answers from the Nigerian Communications Commission, but all our efforts to reach them for comments or get their take on the issue of illegal call termination were unsuccessful.
It turns out that this development has some serious security implications on Nigerians.
Your calls can be recorded via this medium. These companies that provide these boxes, they give an additional service if you want to record calls that come through your box. If it's going to be a business call, for example, then you should know that any information given via such calls is at risk.
The activities of fraudsters terminating international calls locally have made many Nigerians vulnerable to taking calls they would otherwise not have taken, and even missing important calls from loved ones. A while ago, the Nigerian Communications Commission announced its intention to tighten the noose on call masking, call refiling, and SIM box fraud. They now need to implement solutions fast to terminate fraud in the market. In Abuja, Julieta Aino, NTA News.